Boston is that Instagram model. You know what I mean? It's all a facade. You know what I'm saying? The people that are hating on Boston are hating on them for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not that franchise anymore. You know what I'm saying? This is a Instagram filter. Her butt ain't that big. You know what I'm saying? She got craters on her face too. You know what I'm saying? That's a filter. Them lips are injections. You know what I mean? This is all a facade. None of this is real. That ain't her hair. You know what I mean? Like Boston has won one championship in 40 years. 40 years.
Yeah.
They are not.
They've won four. They've won four
of the 40 years. Come on, Mark.
Just say 34.
35 years. Okay. Yeah. 33 years more.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Like they are not the top franchise of this millennium. Like of this millennium, they're not the Lakers. They're not the Warriors. They're not the Miami Heat. They're not the San Antonio Spurs. They're not even the Cleveland Cavaliers.
But
as far as runs and championships go and getting to and banners and stuff like that, they're more with the Dallas Mavericks. They're all in that same tier. You know what I'm saying? The Celtics are not a top tier organization like they once were. They are that Instagram model, and the people that are hating on them are just like regular, them other chicks that be online like, she look fucked up too. That's
this what I'm saying though. She's starting to trend again though.
Those are fake clicks.
No. This is why I disagree because she's starting to become more relevant.
What, she went to Dr. Miami? Did she hit the gym?
She's starting to just a little bit of everything. She's starting to pop more. Ever since JT came around, all of a sudden, I don't know what you could say that is. Maybe she started a makeup brand or whatever.
That sound wild as hell though.
She might be dating a new guy, but ever since this new guy came around, JT, she's been irrelevant. Eastern Conference Finals 2 years ago.
She might be on the way back, Ron.
People are starting to like her now. People are starting. I'm just saying, her name is in the gossip blogs a little bit more.
For this past millennium, she's damn near been a bum. You know what I'm saying? To mess up her credit.
I'm saying.
So you're saying the Celtics' legacy is carried by Bill Russell?
That's a fact.
And Larry Bird, yes.
And they didn't want Bill Russell.
She been running around, messing up her credit, putting cars in her name, playing around with these gangsters. She needs to get her mind back right. You know what I'm saying?
So, Ox, if I'm not mistaken, so in 2008, they won the NBA championship. In the 07-08 season, they win the NBA championship in 2008, right? So 2008, and then in 2010, they're back in the NBA championship and they lose. Then they're back in the East Finals in 17, 18, 20, 22, 23, 24. So in 15 years, they've been in the East Finals. They've been in the East. They've been in the East Finals 8 times, which is about every other year they've been in the East Finals. They've been in the NBA Finals 4 times in the last 15 years. And if they win this championship, that'll be twice in 15 years that they won an NBA championship. Is it 15? Since 2008? 17 years, I'm sorry.
And that's impressive.
It'll be twice that they won an NBA championship in 4 trips in 17 years, which averages out to about once every 4 years they're in the NBA Finals. And they're winning it half the time.
That's impressive. That's impressive. I won't lie.
Are we still talking about the chick with injections in her ass?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. I'm gonna tell you why. Because if the standards that she wants to be, you know what I'm saying, it's just not that. You want us to hold the Celtics up to this Lakers standard. They're not the Lakers.
No.
Boston is not. The Boston Celtics are not the Los Angeles Lakers. There's a clear difference. This is the best franchise in NBA history right here. And them over there, they're like, the cousin that come around every once in a while. You know what I'm saying? They're really not that.
So it's the same. So this is the same Laker team who in the millennium, right? I just want to make sure I want to make sure I'm following you guys. This is the same team that from 2000 to 2010, I think they was in the NBA championship 7 times and won it 5, right? From 2000 to 2010, and then from 2000, from 2010 to 2020, before they won it in 20, I think they missed the playoffs like six straight seasons.
Yeah, they were bad.
They missed the playoffs 6 straight seasons. James has been there for 6 years. They've won the NBA championship once. They've been to the Western Conference Finals twice. So since 2010, that's 15. That's what, 14 years, something like that. So
this high stakes.
They got 6 titles though.
This is high stakes poker, chill. I'm talking.
Right.
Mind you, I said of this millennium. I'm talking about I'm talking about since the Lakers started, since 2000, since the year 2000, since you wasn't there for Y2K, Morris. But I'm talking about since Y2K.
You were not.
Since Y2K, the Lakers are clearing the Celtics. We're talking high stakes. I understand the 60-win seasons, and I value that. I honestly do. I value getting to the conference finals. I think that's a big deal. But these guys are talking about banners. We're talking about hanging.
I mean, we could, to be honest with you, Alex, from 2000 to 2010, we could start and stop the conversation with that right there. We could.
Wait, did the Lakers have 11 titles since 79?
79. They won it in 80. They won it in 80. They won it in 82. They won it in 85. They won it in 87, 88. They won it in 2000, 2001, 2002. They won it in 2009, 2010, and then they won it in 20. So that's 10 titles in over, 46 years? 45 years. 10 titles in 45 years.
That's crazy.
Yes.
What I do want to say, though, is Ox said, like, she not that chick, and and that the Lakers are so much more better and whatnot. Yep. I'm like, Mars, okay, the Lakers might be Taylor Swift, and obviously you want to be Taylor Swift, but Katy Perry's still kind of dope, though.
But Boston's not Katy Perry.
Who would they be?
Like,
if the Lakers are Taylor Swift, who would Boston be?
I don't know, but you take away Bill Russell, they're like the Spurs. Like, they have 7. No, like that's cool. Company. No, that's cool, but they have 17 rings, right? And like Boston fans, like if we win this year, we're ahead of the Lakers. Like
11 of them came.
11 of them are before 1970. Like, they haven't done anything for like 50 years. Like, you go, I looked, I was bored. You go back to 2000. I mean, like, this is from 2000 onwards. So you got missed the playoffs, lost in the conference finals to the Nets. Lost in the semifinals the next year, then lost in the first round, then missed the playoffs, then created the Ray Allen KG super team, won, then lost in the semifinals and KG was hurt, then lost in the finals, then lost in the semifinals, then lost in the conference finals to the Heat, then lost in the first round, then blew up the team, missed the playoffs, then lost in the first round, lost in the conference finals, lost in the second round, lost in the conference finals, lost in the first round, lost in the finals, lost in the conference finals, and now they're in the finals. Like, they haven't done anything as a franchise. Like, I understand, like, they've had good teams and all that, but like a franchise that's meant to be storied and everything. Like, then you look at the Lakers, won the chip, lost in the second round, lost in the finals, missed the playoffs, lost in the first round, lost in the finals, won the chip, lost in the second round, lost in the first round. Then they went and missed the playoffs for 5 straight years. Then they won a chip. Then they lost in the first round. Then they missed the playoffs again, lost in the conference finals, and then lost this year in the first round. At least they have some sustained winning somewhere. But like the Celtics, you got to go back to Larry Bird, and then before that, you got to go back to Bill Russell. Like, they're living off a legacy of 60 years ago.
Mars, I do want to raise you one, though.
Okay.
Are they back to relevance? And obviously winning.
Yes, right now, yes.
No, I'm saying, though, like, how are we talking about the Celtics in 2030 if they win 2 rings between now and then? Is it now, okay, they are really a great franchise? They restored their dominance?
That'll be the night. If Boston have the most rings ever and they're still competing in 2029 or something, yeah, it's going to be, Boston's the best franchise or whatever in NBA history or whatever. But, like, they had a 30-year period where they just did nothing 20-year period where they just did nothing.
Mars, what you call it? You brought up the and sure, if we're going to talk about story franchises, like you just mentioned, the Lakers, I mean, they missed the playoffs for 5 straight years, but then we could say that the Celtics. I mean, I feel like there's flaws everywhere. I mean, in the 90s, the Celtics didn't get out of the first round of the playoffs. From 1990 to 1999, they didn't get out of the first round of the playoffs, and I think they missed the playoffs 4 or 5 years in the 90s, if I'm not mistaken. I think they missed the playoffs half of the decade, and the other half they didn't get out of the first round. The entire decade, from 1990. From the 90-91 season to the 98-99 season, they didn't get out of the first round of the playoffs, or they missed the playoffs. Maybe 4 or 5 times they missed the playoffs, and they made
the second rounds in 91 and 92.
Who did they lose?
I can't remember who they beat, but
in '92.
they lost to the Pistons. They lost to the
Bird
Pistons
last
in
year.
'91, and then they lost to the Cavs in Game 7 in '92 after beating the Pacers in the first round in both years.
So they lose to the Pistons. Now, Mars, I want you to expand on that. They got swept by the Pistons in '91. They didn't lose to they didn't lose to the Bad Boys. They got smoked by them. And I think in '92, who did they lose to in '92?
They went 7 with the Cavs and lost Game 7.
I do remember that series. Yeah, I do remember that. That was Bird last year. That was Bird's last year. And then the next year in '93, they lose in the first one on a buzzer beater to Lonzo Mourning against Charlotte. And then in '94, I think they missed the playoffs in '94. In '95, they lose to Orlando. They don't make the playoffs in '96. They don't make the playoffs in '97. They don't make the playoffs in '98, and they don't make the playoffs in '99
or 90 or
90.
90.
I also want to say for what it's
2000.
worth, the late '80s and '90s, Boston did experience a lot of tragedy with Len Bias and Reggie Lewis dying.
Mhm.
Oh, Justin just said it in the chat. Yeah, Reggie Lewis and Len Bias dying. Yeah,
Mhm.
like they were set up to have like a very good team.
some sustained success.
Yes,
Sure.
that's unfortunate for sure. Shout out to Justin for saying.
So
that.
is it fair? So is it fair that those kind of circumstances, and we can say the same thing? You just brought it up when them losing in '09 to Orlando. I think they win the NBA championship again that year if Garnett doesn't get hurt. I think they win it again. I'm on record saying that. But to lose Lenny, which Bird said had Lenny not died, he would have quit in '88. He was out. He was done. He said he would have retired in '88 had Lenny not passed away. But to lose Lenny and then turn around and lose Reggie Lewis too,
Mhm.
I mean that's a pretty big deal. That's a pretty big deal.
It's the player choice way. Yeah, them boys don't get it started. The player choice way. Yeah, the player choice way. Come and switch lanes into the player choice way.